Caitlin Clark made the All-Star team. We're also going to look at fans. Fans that have spent their money buying merchandise of Caitlin Clark, jerseys, shoes, bought tickets to games, hotels in the local Indianapolis area. I got to tell you, this is the worst look the Indiana Fever have had since Caitlin Clark arrived.
According to supporters of this narrative, these were not merely angry words spoken behind closed doors. They argue that this is the explosive executive controversy currently sending shockwaves through the professional basketball world. Critics claim the mainstream media tried to downplay the story, while league officials attempted to keep it out of the spotlight. Then, according to these reports, everything changed. Commentator Stephen A. Smith reportedly shared what supporters describe as a smoking gun, fueling claims that the league's internal structure was beginning to unravel. Online speculation and commentary alleged that Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and head coach Stephanie White had been removed from their positions following an extensive fan backlash that reportedly affected league operations. Supporters further claimed that major sponsors and corporate partners pressured NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to address the controversy or risk further financial damage. Many following the story. The situation represented a dramatic turning point for an establishment they believed had underestimated the impact of a generational star and the loyalty of her fan base. They argue that the long-anticipated reckoning had finally arrived. Supporters trace the controversy back to weeks of growing tension within league leadership. According to reports and commentary, the tipping point came after Stephanie White allegedly made remarks behind the scenes that critics interpreted as downplaying Caitlin Clark's historic selection as an all-star starter. Rather than celebrating the record-setting television audiences, increased revenue, and worldwide attention Clark helped generate, critics argue that league leadership embraced a divisive approach that alienated a significant portion of its paying audience. However, supporters believe league officials misjudged the public response. Citing what Stephen A. Smith described as insider information, they claim executive resistance emerged almost immediately after those alleged remarks surfaced. Reports further suggest that Kathy Engelbert came under increasing pressure from major corporate partners, who reportedly did not want their brands associated with the growing controversy.
And merchandise buyers, etc., etc. And here's my issue. A lot of people will say, well, trade her out of Indianapolis. It's going to be this way with every damn team in this league. It's the league. The league is poisoned.
No, everybody's here.
All right, great. Well, I'm calling with some good news today. We have multiple starters for the Indiana Fever in the 2026 All-Star Game. Congratulations first to Leah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark,
There we go.
hey,
All right. That's the only one we're going to watch. That's the only one we're going to watch. But yeah, right there, Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell have all made the team as all-star.
According to supporters of this narrative, the alleged administrative sabotage marked a decisive turning point. The message, they say, was direct, uncompromising, and unmistakable. Step aside. Reports and online commentary claimed that Stephanie White was stripped of her operational authority almost immediately. While some believe league officials attempted to contain the fallout, critics argue that the digital trail had already become too widespread to ignore. By that point, fans had reportedly launched a coordinated boycott that left premium seats noticeably emptier and corporate suites far less occupied than expected. But the controversy didn't end with questions surrounding a single coach. According to these claims, the shockwaves reached the highest levels of professional basketball leadership. Attention then shifted to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. Supporters of this narrative argue that he had watched for months as WNBA leadership struggled to capitalize on the league's growing momentum, while its biggest star faced repeated physical play on the court and sharp criticism during press conferences. They further claim that, When internal reports allegedly pointed to declining merchandise sales, streaming subscriptions, and ticket revenue amid the fan backlash, Silver concluded that the league's problems extended far beyond a single incident.
Clearly, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, there's some resentment, as I've articulated before. What people are missing, Monica, is I have no problem with it whatsoever. Okay, yes, there's resentment because, first of all, you're absolutely right. This is much ado about nothing. In the heat of competition, tempers flare. You know, last time I checked, women got tempers just like men do. Ain't no problem. Ain't no problem at all. Ain't no big deal at all. I love it personally. Now, here's the thing about it, because I want to make sure everybody understands what I'm about to say. Caitlin Clark being that golden goose per se, that rising tide that's lifting all boats. I stand by my past proclamations that there's resentment towards her because of that. But I want to take it a step further. There's also resentment towards her because she instigates resentment towards her sometimes. Oh, Caitlin can clap at you now. Yes. Caitlin can antagonize you now. Remember in college, doggy, WNBA as a whole, that women's basketball as a whole, and some, not most, not all, but some WNBA players need to appreciate that and gravitate to that and grab hold of that and ride that wave to your own ascension as opposed to resenting.
In a move that reportedly sent shockwaves through sports front offices across North America, Adam Silver bypassed traditional administrative procedures and announced what has been described as an immediate, sweeping suspension. According to these claims, the league's top leadership had been protecting the very individuals accused of undermining the sport's competitive integrity. Critics argue that, by allowing what they describe as a toxic, anti-consumer culture to shape league policy, the executive leadership placed the entire brand at risk. Silver's message, supporters say, was unmistakable. The era of protecting powerful insiders at the expense of generational talent is over. They claim the league's existing structure is being dismantled, marking what they view as a complete corporate shakeup. This has become more than just another sports controversy. To many fans, it represents a case study in what happens when an out-of-touch establishment underestimates the influence of a united consumer base. Critics also argue that mainstream sports media spent months dismissing fan concerns, portraying dangerous hits, unnecessary flagrant fouls, and perceived administrative bias as simply part of the game. They believed fans would continue buying tickets without pushing back. Instead, Caitlin Clark supporters did far more than voice their frustration online. They directed their response where they believed it would have the greatest impact: the league's financial bottom line.
She preached to you. They preached to you. They basically said the new fans, she said the new fans, we don't want you. How does she feel knowing, I'm going to keep it real, and God dang it, I don't want to get political on this channel, but when she goes into her politics, her identity politics, it forces me to. You don't want conservative fans watching your league. But I can tell you, based on the coverage I saw, it was only pro-conservative outlets that were backing Caitlin Clark. ABC, Good Morning America, ran a piece coddling and cuddling. Fox News had Caitlin Clark's back. A lot of different outlets, a lot of pundits, all had Caitlin Clark's back. People may not want to hear that. They may not like that. And yeah, Caitlin Clark's own politics doesn't align with us. We don't care. She also doesn't go around talking about politics all the time, like the other people in this league.
Draining arena attendance, canceling premium broadcast subscriptions, and putting pressure on major sponsors, the public forced what many describe as a complete corporate surrender. The panic reportedly coming from the league office suggests that the consumer base holds the real power. The narrative has collapsed under the weight of its own contradictions, and those accused of damaging the game's future are now facing intense public scrutiny. What some are calling the ultimate corporate purge has officially begun, with reports and commentary claiming that Kathy Engelbert and Stephanie White have been removed from key positions within the league's structure, If those reports prove accurate, the sports landscape could change dramatically. But one thing is clear. The global community is being urged to take a stand right now.
It's empty. I mean, this is just one shot. I mean, it looks really, really bad. It looks like the damage has been done, and the fans have stood up and said enough is enough. Okay, it looks like the fans said enough's enough, man. We're not showing up for this. We got other angles, and it says this is just 5 minutes before tip-off. And here it says the fans are tired and want the Indiana Fever to step up better and protect Caitlin Clark. They seem to be speaking with their pockets. Call out the commissioner directly and stop sending little hints. And yeah, it looks like the people have spoke, man. The people have definitely spoke in this photo. It is empty seats, all types of stuff, free tires, free Bath and Body Works kits and all types of stuff to get people to come out. And it looks like the people told them no today. They told them hell no today. Take a look at this here, and you could just see all the empty. You can see how empty it is. Oh man, all of this stuff is empty. All of this stuff, bro. Wow. Caitlin Clark fans stood up to this. They stood up, and then if you watched the game, if you watched it, you pretty much could see how empty it was. You could see how empty it was if you watched it. You definitely could see how empty it was. This game had no people there. It's bad. It's bad. This is a bad look. Now she did show up. You've seen her reunite with Kate Martin. This was good to see. I wish the Indiana Fever would have picked up Kate Martin, but they didn't. Surprise to who? Caitlin also did some meeting with the people. She's not gonna let the people down. But even in these videos right here, take a look at this.
Do you agree with Adam Silver's decisive move to suspend the league's top leadership and completely overhaul the front office? Is this the long-awaited justice that Caitlin Clark and her millions of dedicated fans have been fighting for since day one? Share your honest, unfiltered thoughts in the comments below right now. If you're excited to see the alleged corruption exposed and want a cleaner, fairer league for CC, smash that like button immediately. Be sure to hit subscribe and turn on every notification so you don't miss our next exclusive video, where we'll break down the reported financial penalties allegedly being handed down to the referee union. That video drops in just a few hours, and you won't want to miss a single moment of what could become a historic turning point. Stay tuned, because the truth will always rise to the surface.